Super Monkey Ball. Super Monkey Ball. Or however they do it in the intro for this. It's really good. That's probably my favorite part about this game. The intro song just slaps. These games here are some of my favorites of all time. Mostly this one. This probably makes my top 5 games of all time. I think it would be so sick to have the Monkey Ball arcade machine. Because if you didn't know, this is an arcade game. This is a GameCube game. Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania is a remake of these two games. The first two Super Monkey Balls in the series. That's what it's called, series. This was one of the games that made me fall in love with video games. There are so many memories of me playing this with my dad, my sister, even my mom. I will spare my mom a little bit here because there were some funny times there, but level 7 on beginner is hard, okay? And these two games combined would just make a really good, solid game, solid experience. Super Monkey Ball 2 has a story mode where this dude and his henchmen are stealing the bananas from Ai's village. And Baby's still a baby. He's a baby for the entire series. He never grows up. I guess it all takes place in the same year or something. I don't know. I'm not really caught up on the lore. Well, the story isn't anything to write home about. It's just a really solid, fun way to play through all of the levels. One of my gripes with Super Monkey Ball is while I am fairly good at the beginner and advanced levels, expert is really hard. Like really, really hard. And it would take a lot of dedication and time for me to beat all 50 levels of expert without losing all of my lives. So when Super Monkey Ball 2 came around, which it was probably already out before I even got my GameCube, when I finally got to play Super Monkey Ball 2, and I got to play every level, at least as far as I know, every level in this game is in story mode. Even the hardest ones, you just get an endless amount of tries as far as I'm aware. It's been a long time since I've played it in the GameCube version. And that was fun. It was a good way to play the game without, spending countless hours trying to beat it. So when this was announced that both of them were coming to the Switch, I went bananas. BANANAS. And for the most part, it was worth getting hyped over. This is regularly on sale, and I will just say it is absolutely worth whatever sale price it is. Even full price, I think this is very much worth it. This is a fantastic remaster. Remake. It's a full remake. And I think that's where my biggest gripe is. But I wish this was just a remaster. Maybe upgraded textures like in this Metroid Prime remaster. Because this game is made in Unity, and I think that's where this all goes awry. If you don't know, in Monkey Ball, you don't actually control the monkeys. They make it look like you do, but you move the board. You control the playing field. You maneuver it kind of like that one game with the ball, and you try and get it in the hole. This is actually exactly like that. But the goal is not a hole in the floor. It's just an archway with a little ribbon that says goal. It's pretty much the same thing, though. I think that AV, the team behind these games, Sega, I think the engine that they made was perfect for this. I don't know how it worked in the later games. I never played Banana Blitz. I have Banana Blitz HD, and it's a fine game. It's not nearly as good as these. I don't know why they did Banana Blitz HD before this. If they were going to test the waters with a game, it should have been this. But here, I guess, is where I get slightly scripted because I have notes. I played back both these games. I just decided not to really focus on Super Monkey Ball 2 because the levels and everything are fine for the most part. There's only like a few select levels where I'm like, this is too different and I don't like it. So this is fine, pretty much okay. But here are my gripes with the remaster. Remake. Why do I keep saying remake? It's a remake. It is completely remade from the ground up. Now, at first, I thought maybe this is like a me problem because with the Switch, I have a modded Switch Pro controller. It's not even really modded, and that has the notches on the circle part for the stick, just like the GameCube. So you can push it forward and you're locked into that groove and you are going straight no matter what. But for some reason in this game, it doesn't do that. Like you're automatically locked in to the forward position with those grooves. Yet when I do that in this game, it doesn't always go forward. It is kind of a coin toss whether or not you're gonna go perfectly straight or not. And I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. And initially, I bought this, I think it was the Digital Deluxe Edition on the PS5. I have it twice. It's a good game. I promise. Go buy it. And I was playing it on my PS5 controller, which is just the circle cutout. There's no groove. So I was like, am I just going crazy? Am I not going perfectly straight? And then when I got it on here and I played with my Pro controller with the notches, I'm like, okay, what is going on? I'm actually starting to go a little crazy here. And no, I wasn't going crazy. It just doesn't want to always go straight. It doesn't make any sense to me. Whatever. I guess it's fine. But I feel like it's really important to be able to go straight. Like once you're locked into a direction, you're gonna go that direction. It's not like weeble wobbling, but if you put your stick forward, whatever direction that they think you're going is the way you're going. And before you say, oh, you have stick drift, it's Nintendo. Well, no, I don't. I promise you I don't. I've tried multiple different controllers. It's the game. And I don't know why. It's a little bit of a gripe because there's some levels where I'm like, it's muscle memory to just flick the stick forward and turn your brain off or think about the next section because it's just a straight path immediately out the gate. But when you're playing this version, you can't do that. But there are also some other pretty severe differences to this game. It is so much more sensitive. Maybe that's not the right word. Everything is faster. I know in one of the games it's miles per hour and the other game is kilometers per hour. And as a silly American, I don't know what the difference is off the top of my head. Pretty sure miles are longer than kilometers. So a higher number of kilometers might equal the same, but it's definitely faster. The feel of it is faster. I don't think that the speed of the monkey ball is 100% accurate to the real world. I'm going to go out on a limb there and say Sega wasn't going for accuracy with the miles per hour. But the speed is definitely different in these two games. And something on level 15 specifically is one that I noticed because that was the level that plagued me as a child. Level 15 on advanced, the middle level difficulty, because apparently they changed the names of the difficulties on this game. But on that advanced level 15, it is these weird slopes. And it's really easy until the last slope. If you're not careful, you're just going to go off the edge because you built up too much speed going to that direction and you can't get your way back up. There's a certain part where you're just too far gone. You have to give up. Well, that happens to me on the second to last one too. And the last one is near impossible to do. But then I hop in level 15 on the original game and it is a breeze because I've gotten that process down. I could do it in my sleep. It's still a hard level. Anybody that I show it to, that is the level that people struggle on. That was the level that I always handed the controller to my dad to play for me. It's a tough level. It's not that tough for me anymore because I have the muscle memory. It is very hard in this game once again. I think it's harder for me now in this game than it was back in the day on this game because you're so much faster in this. And then 2 levels later, level 17, it's very noticeable. That's where I noticed the straight path. That's where I noticed the speed because there are a couple shortcuts that you can take. One of the shortcuts you can do at the beginning in this game because you have that extra speed, and you can't do it in this game because you're slower. And in this game, which you can do it in both, it's just much easier in this game, you get to this top platform in the middle of the level and you can drop down right next to the goal. In this game, you have to go very slow and have really good reaction time because you go so much faster that you're just going to go right off the platform. And yeah, it's a skip, it's a cheat, whatever, but it's different from the original. And when you have the muscle memory of this game, it's really annoying trying to play this game. If I'm trying to impress someone and we're playing this version, I'm not going to impress them. Oh, and then there's a music note level. It's one of my favorites because I found this cheat randomly as a kid. And it's such a wild cheat to someone who's never seen it before. But on this one, there's a diner sign that if you head just pretty much straight forward and go off the edge, you will land at the almost very end of the level. And you can just sit there and wait for the red goal to come down, which the red goal is the best goal you can get into. Not all of them have multiple goals, but the blue one is the regular one. The green one will let you skip a couple of levels, and the red one will let you skip a lot of levels. So you go from like level 18 to level 25 in the red goal on this music note sheet. Wow, music sheet. It's 3 a.m. But in this game, that diner sign, it might be there, but it's not in the same spot. And like to developers who are maybe new to the game, because like I get it, there's 20 years difference between these two games. It's probably not the same exact devs. And I can tell you it's not the same exact devs because this is made by AV. No, AV, that was on the back. And this is by Cryware, I guess. Maybe that's something else. It's still developed by Sega. It's a Sega property, but it's not by AV. And so I get it. There's going to be differences that these newer developers maybe don't know. Maybe they might not understand about the game. Or Sega's like, just push it out fast. We don't really care about the attention to detail. Which this is still, there's a lot of attention to detail. Again, I really like it. We're going over minor complaints here. If you're a veteran of this game, you're going to have these gripes that I do. But if you're new to the game, just to play the game. It's amazing. But in the bonus levels, there's a level where you play on the AV logo. And again, with muscle memory, when it's like doing this whole wavy thing, you just go straight forward pretty much to like this part with the V, and then you get flung up and across the gap and you're in the goal. It's pretty easy once you know the path and stuff. And in this, the cutout is a banana because AV is not the developer of this. At least they're just like, screw AV in some way. I don't know. Which that's not like a huge deal, but that's completely changing the level. Like it is a wildly different level because of the banana cutout. Either way, my bigger gripe is that you just don't have lives in this game. At least I couldn't find the mode where you have 3 lives and 5 continues like you do in the original games. And bananas, you can just collect however many bananas are in the level. There's really no reason to collect bananas in this game other than you want to. In this game, you collect 100 bananas, you get an extra life. And it was always the goal for me, not just to get an extra life, but to get an extra continue, which I don't think you actually get another continue. I don't think it goes up to 6. I think the monkey heads just like go into a stack and it has 1x4 or 5 or whatever. But not dying and trying to get as many bananas as you can in this was so much fun. It actually gives you an incentive to go for the bananas. And in this game, why would I risk my life for a banana? Because there are no lives and the bananas respawn and it's all just kind of pointless. The only goal is to get to the goal. Okay. And because there are no lives, you just get to play the bonus levels. I don't remember exactly. I think if you just don't use any continues, you get to play the bonus levels in the original game. It may be that you can't lose any lives to get to the bonus levels, which I don't know how you do that for expert unless you're like a speed runner for this game. But if you don't lose any lives, you get to move on to the like 3 bonus stages. I think there's more in advanced, and I think there's even more in expert, or at least they up the difficulty in the higher difficulties, which makes sense. But they just give it to you on a silver platter. The last level, the normal last level, is not the last level. You just get to play the bonus stages, and it's like, wow. And now I get an endless amount of lives for 3 more stages. I don't feel like I achieved anything. So that was kind of a disappointment for me. Another kind of big thing is, unless they've added it and I just don't know about it, you can't play this online. I think you might be able to play like some of the bonus modes online, but it doesn't say anything about this is wireless internet access required for online features, but I don't think you can play the party games online. I know you can't play the regular game online, which is really annoying. I would want to play the main game with my friends. That's half the reason I want this on another console like the Switch or the PlayStation. I want to play this game with my friends. Otherwise, I just have them over and we'd play this version. If I had my friends over for a game night, we wouldn't play this version. We would play this version. So can you just like add that? Do a Super Mario Party and add it 2 years later for no reason? Well, I mean, there's a good reason to add it. And I don't know if I'm just doing the wrong settings. I probably am. But the right stick is just so lame. That's another reason that I wish they didn't do it in Unity. I get why they did it, but in this game, the automatic stick movement, because the camera isn't controllable with the C stick in the original games, but the game is very good about automatically rotating the camera where you need to see. It is the best auto camera ever. I have no real complaints about it in this game. In this game, the auto camera kind of sucks, and so does the right stick. There is a sensitivity setting. I have it set at 3, and that's too slow. But 4 and 5 are insanely fast, out of your mind. Why, God, why does it go that fast? The slider is not gradual at all, and there are only 5 settings for sensitivity. And I get this is not Call of Duty. We don't need like 20 sensitivity levels. But man, right stick capabilities could be better. Or you could just have the goodness of the auto camera on this. Again, there is an auto camera. It's just not as good. It's playable. It's just not as good. And having just the ability to nudge the right stick to correct it when I want to, or maybe just look around, see what's coming up a little easier. That'd be nice too. But, I like this game more. But this is still a totally fine game. If all of the copies of these games were burnt to a crisp for some reason, I would still be happy with this. I still highly recommend Banana Mania, as I'm apparently breaking it. I really like this game, and I think you should buy it and play it all the time. I wish you could play it with me. I would totally play this with fans if they'd let me. But, I can't. It's such a good game. Monkey Ball as a series is a great game. Even Banana Blitz wasn't that bad. Catch that on like a $10 sale. It's probably worth it. This is regularly very cheap. I can't recommend it enough. Well, I guess I can. I'd recommend this more. But these are like, I think $40 each now. It's kind of ridiculous. Not that bad as far as GameCube games go, but, it's not great. Plus, you can play as Sonic in this one. Also, the Yakuza guy is the DLC in this one.